Ah, shit. Here we go again. Do it! Just do it!
Yeah, boy. A few moments later.
I almost lost my hair with this game, just like Professor X. If everyone forces Mutant reroll when they see the Metamorphosis effect, it's because that there's a good reason. It's very easy to make a top 4 with very little resources. There are also other strong mutant effects, and in this video we're going to talk about the best effects and how to build differently based on the effect you have in your game. If in your game you have one of the following effects, Metamorphosis, Synaptic Wave, Voracious Appetite or Voidborn, you can play Mutant. You usually want to play with 5 mutants actually, and this is the ideal comp you want to achieve for your late game. 3-star Cho'Gath and 3-star Malzahar if you play around them, or 2-star Kesa if you are contested. My advice is to always try to play around 3-star Malzahar and 3-star Cho'Gath if you can, but if you are contested, it's better to switch to Kesa to have a better late game scaling, because a 2-star Kesa will always be better than a 2-star Malzahar. I'm going to detail every build for each effect that are relevant, and I'm going to start with Metamorphosis. I said it earlier, this one is the most broken effect at this moment. I expect a huge nerf next patch, so make sure you play it before. If you're watching this video after the patch, then it might have been balanced, but still playable. So make sure to subscribe to this channel to have the guides at the perfect timing. For this specific effect, this is probably your most ideal Malzahar Cho'Gath comp at level 7. Since your comp has insane defensive stats and AP from Metamorphosis, you just need to provide a lot of healing, sustain, as well as crit damage to become almost unkillable. The plan is to play Strongboard around your early mutants and roll at level 7 until you find your 5 mutants, Malzahar 2-star and 2-star Cho'Gath. If you are not contested, you can try to stay level 7 and slow roll until you find your 3-star units. If you are contested, and that's most likely to happen, then push level 8 or even level 9 to put your Malzahar's item on Kesa, because Kesa 2-star will always be better than 2-star Malzahar. This is why I purposely advise you to put Shojin on Malzahar instead of blue buff, because this allows you to have great late game option in case you can't find your 3-stars. Other great items for Cho'Gath are Warmog, Bramble Vest and Hextech Gunblade. For Malzahar you can also build blue buff, Giant Slayer, Archangel Staff and Rabadon. And finally for Kesa, you can pretty much give any item Malzahar has. You can also decide to put her Ginzu or QSS or GA or even Morello. Synaptic Web allows your mutant to have less mana to fill before casting. This time your units won't be naturally tanky and you should be less contested. This is why this variation is better if you can get 3-star Cho'Gath and 3-star Malzahar. If you are contested, I would suggest you to play around Arcanist Academy at level 8 because Lux with blue buff will most likely outscale your 2-star Malzahar. The transition is very expensive, so it's better to recognize this opportunity at your level 6 or level 7, but you have to recognize before you roll your 3-star mutants. Otherwise, you won't have enough econ to make the transition. Other great items for Cho'Gath are Dragon's Claw, Titan's Resolve, Hextech Gunblade, and Warmog. As you can see, he really wants to have defensive items. For Malzahar, you need to have blue buff. But other than that, you can try to have Archangel Staff, Jewel Gauntlet with Infinity Edge and Giant Slayer. Without the blue buff, Malzahar will not be able to cast every second and you will lose a lot of power. For both effects, Voracious Appetite and Voidborn, you can decide to stuff your units the same way. And you should also try to chase 3-star Cho'Gath and 3-star Malzahar. Both effects enhance your damage, so you really need tank items on your Cho'Gath and damage amplification on your Malzahar. Honestly, with these two effects, your items are slightly more flexible for Malzahar. He can do well with either blue buff or Spear of Shojin, and he would prefer to have damage amplification like crit damage or Giant Slayer, but the Rabadon is also extremely valuable on Malzahar. Depending on your max, you might decide to remove 2 mutants in order to add more Arcanists Nemesis, Scholars, or any form of frontline. Note that Phony Frontline is one of the best augments for the Voidborn effect because it adds more frontline and gives you 2 free Voidborn stacks. It is stage 1 and you have scouted, so you have realized that the Mutant effect is very interesting to play. But you didn't get your Malzahar or your Cho'Gath as stage 1. So what do you play in order to make sure you have a good early game while still being able to play Mutant as an option for your late game? Don't worry, you have a couple of great options to play during stage 2 before entering the mid game when you will have to play your Mutants. Syndicate with Twisted Fate is probably the best starter if you wanna play Malzahar. Darius will take Cho'Gath items and Twisted Fate can carry Malzahar's items. Twisted Fate with blue buff can carry you very hard. Another great option to consider is Brawler with Vi carry and tank at the same time. She can deal tons of damage if she is in front of a pack of units, and she can also tank a lot as well thanks to bruisers. The transition is also smooth because Cho'Gath and Malzahar can naturally integrate your comp. For the mid game is like I said earlier. When you push level 7 at stage 4-1, you want to have at least 1 Cho'Gath on your board and 1 Malzahar and also another mutant. Then you want to roll until you find your 2-star mutants just like this. Once you have all of them 2-star, except Mundo because it's a 4-cost unit and it's very likely that you won't find it. You can stop rolling and get back your icon above 50 gold. And this is the moment when you have to assess your situation and scout. Because starting from there, you have to decide whether you want to slow roll because you identified that you are uncontested, or you have to decide to push level 8 and switch into Kaisa because there are too many Cho'Gath and Malzahar that are being held hostage by others. For the augments, it's extremely difficult to tell you which augments are great and which augments are not great. What I can say though is that there is one effect which is a bait and you have to absolutely avoid it. It is called Unstable Evolution. Because the effect is random, you don't know how much your Malzahar will actually benefit well the bonuses. This is why I believe augments that grant a Necon advantage or power advantage are much more interesting to take, just like the one I'm showing here on the screen. Some of you asked for this video, so I made it. Tell me in the comments which one you want to see for the next video. I will consider your opinion. If you want to have this cheat sheet on your phone, you can find it in Tactor. The link will be in the description and you can have access to a lot of information for free. With that being said, let's feast together at the top of the ladder.